Open blinds.
Juggernaut Collective, Interpol Case File 679310. Juggernaut Collective originated in the early 2020s when a hacker named Eli posted a badly written call to arms message on the darknet. Filled with misspellings and grammatical errors, it invited those disillusioned with the stranglehold 1%ers have on our world to join him in attacking, exposing, and exploiting and spoiling their plots. The group first made headlines in 2025 by hijacking atmospheric processors used by a popular weather artist in Paris and sending hurricane-force winds to decimate a Page Industries-sponsored event. Around the same time, Eli was replaced online by a new nom de plume, Janus, or Janus, or as they're saying. Efforts to ascertain the real-world identity of either hacker has thus far proven unsuccessful. Under Janus' leadership, the collective have become increasingly effective at bankrupting Fortune 500 companies, exposing governmental misdeeds, and in general making life difficult for the extremely wealthy. Particularly worrisome to counterterrorism agencies around the world is growing evidence that the collective has been recruiting a number of experienced agents, often with a black ops expertise to assist them.
Good morning, Adam. You have one new message.
From?
David Serif.
Play it.
Adam, it's David. I know it's been a while, but after what happened in Prague yesterday. Look, son, whatever reasons you had for not getting in touch these last 2 years, life's too short. I'm leaving for London soon, but give me a call.
You saved his vidcall number?
Yes, Adam. Just activate your TV system.
You forgot some meat in there. Can't actually ever take it out.
Oh, yeah! You know, before that little musical interlude there, I was talking about some serious shit. So let's keep going. First of all, let me get this out of the way when talking about the Og incident. I've always hated that incident. Steve using the head after eating 3 burritos and forgetting to light a match. That's an incident. What happened that fateful day in 2027 was beyond terror any of us has ever seen. Og incident? Try Og travesty. Try Og massacre. How about Og Armageddon? Because that's where we're headed, thanks to the horror of the Illuminati and their humanity front puppets unleashed on the Earth that day. I'm taking the time in this broadcast to remember, not so we can get together and riot on my lawn. I lost people too, and they should never be forgotten. No, I'm doing it because the Og Insa Massageddon is only the first of many horror shows we're about to be subjected to, unless we figure this shit out fast. Remember the Cold War and how we sat on the brink of destruction minute by minute? How we hated the commies and the commies hated us? How they had a way of life that we couldn't fucking stand, and it was only a matter of time before they swallowed us up in their ideology and technological superiority? I don't either, actually, but my grandpa used to tell me about those days. And let me tell you, followers, it's starting to sound awfully fucking familiar.
Okay. Christian Jeru. Hey Jensen, sorry not to get back to you before this. Been buried in a sea paperwork, and frankly, I'm surprised you're asking. I only met Miller once via the NSN, seemed more than competent. He was with the Tactical Assault Group in Australia before the incident. Hell of a marksman, so to say. Don't know how he ended up overseeing the Central European office, but then I don't understand how you ended up there either. I've tried to figure your SWAT expertise, and my recommendation will get you in the door, but the headquarters will keep you in the States. Sure, could use your insider's knowledge of AUG developers to get a handle on the back market suppliers we've been chasing down. Hate to say it, but they're giving us hell. Ah well, adapt and react, right? Anyway, not much more I can tell you about Miller. If you do put in for a transfer, let me know first. Maybe we can pull strings. Christian Jeru, director, Task Force 29, North American Division. Specs. Adam, thank you for your detailed specifications for the trench coat. As Scots will be delivered within 10 business days and shipped express. You okay? From Peter Chang. Director Miller said you'll probably come in after a good night's sleep. Despite what just happened to you. I've no idea why you do that. It was me, Task Force 29's last place would want to go right now. Don't let the bunker atmosphere fool you. This place is a target. We're all targets. I'm not just being paranoid here, okay? You understand when we talk in person. But related to the related to the thing above we need to talk about. I changed your office password. It's now the name of the band and the shirt Arya wore that time I saw her. The one I told you about. I swear I'm not trying to be cute or cryptic, I'm trying to be safe. Chang. P.S. Try running through your home smart system interface again. Let me know if you're still getting that armory glitch. Latest firmware should have taken care of that. The thing I'd want to do in your shoes is leave my apartment without bullets. Hello, homeowner. From the menu, please select the type of setting you wish to change.
As you wish.
Okay, I managed to glitch out the game. Diwali Criminal Organization. The Diwali Organization is a crime syndicate operating in Eastern Europe. Its activities range from drug distribution to weapons smuggling to human trafficking. Founded in Georgia in the 1980s by Akub Diwali and his sons, the original family has expanded its clan by including patriots of blood, criminals of pure Georgian descent. In Prague, however, an influx of Russian-speaking members have been noted ever since Radic Nikolades took control. Some think a change in management might be warranted there. There we go.
I'm not saying Rucker and the Augmented Rights Coalition don't get their hands dirty once in a while. Who can blame them? If you were the only legitimate hope to liberate a terrorized minority, you'd have to stick a pipe in a wheel once in a while to let people know you're not messing around when it comes to defending your own. But to say Rucker is behind mass destruction on this level is ridiculous. Come on! The man's a fucking doctor. Is it possible that being locked up in Gollum City all this time has caused him to go a little cuckoo? Lots of talk about how he's been hitting the bottle hard these last few months. We've all seen pics of what that isolationist hellhole looks like inside, but I personally don't believe he has such a hold on his followers that they would walk blindly into a situation where they'd be responsible for a mass murder on this scale. Not
You can hear me? Yep.
buying it.
I muted
Not
myself for a
buying it,
second.
Picus. As usual. In fact, Picus, the more you say it, the less I buy it. That's just a personal opinion. And just for the record, my eyeballs are happy now. Isaac Sam's back closed after that.
Okay, let's see. India's finest premium ale, magical elixir direct from the foothills of the Himalayas. We can't promise you'll turn into an 8-armed Hindu god, but your waiter or waitress will swear you have. Go ahead. Have another changa. Oh, damn, I didn't mean to use. Absinthe. Absinthe has a bad rap, man. Whose nation's big deal? Addiction, come on. Intolerance, dude. Can't keep a good fairy down. To paraphrase a well-known idiom. Absinthe makes the heart grow. Ah, never mind. Hand me that spoon. Remember a friend had absinthe one day? It was gonna, offering some to me, but I was like, no, it just, even the smell of it was too much.
Serif.
I heard about the bombing in Prague. It's all over the news. Did anyone you know get hurt?
You know me. I tend to keep to myself. I'm surprised you even know I'm here.
Interpol called me when you applied for the job, part of their extensive background checks. I gave you a glowing recommendation.
Thanks. What do you want?
What do I want? Jeez, Adam. I know I did some questionable things in the past, but a lot's happened in the last 2 years. To both of us.
Serif's kind of coming off as, you know, distant dad trying to make up with estranged kid. Both in aesthetics and just behavior here. And people were, I was reading before online, and this is actually an accurate take. In a plot twist in the cyberpunk setting, corporate guy here actually isn't a bad guy. Actually does care about people. Normally, corporates are, you know, shitholes in cyberpunk settings, but Serif is actually a good guy. You can see that's true for what it's worth. I'm glad you made it out of Panchaea. You obviously landed on your feet, though, unlike a lot of other people. Now let's play nice.
That's true. For what it's worth, I'm glad you made it out of Panchaea.
Thank you. It wasn't easy, as I'm sure you know. I was at death's door by the time the rescue crews pulled me out of the wreckage, and while the doctors were stitching me back together, my company fell apart. There wasn't anything I could do to stop it, not from a hospital bed.
I heard Tai Young Medical bought everything up.
They're the only biotech corporation that could after the incident. Our patents, our tech, everything. Oh well, sometimes one dream has to die so another can rise from its ashes.
Heard in from Megan. Pritchard.
You talked to Pritchard lately?
Frank! Out of all of us, I think he's the one who's changed the least.
He'd probably tell you there wasn't anything about him that needed changing.
I'm sure he would. But when the world transforms itself the way ours has, people need to adapt or get left behind. Frank's freelance now, but he's still in computer security, still in Detroit. I don't know if he'll ever leave.
You heard anything from Megan?
After all we went through, I thought she'd stand by me. Still,
That was a chair.
she always wanted to be at the cutting edge. She didn't see a future for herself in Detroit, so she went to VersaLife.
She moved to Hong Kong?
San Francisco. They've got an offshore research facility there named Roca Seca Beach. I'm sure you've seen it in the news.
California, huh? I wonder if she's told her mother.
You want my advice, son? Write her out of your life. Because I'm damn sure she's written us out of hers.
Again, he still feels the dad trying to, you know, bond with his estranged kid. That's very much how Serif's coming off.
Your message said you were going to London. Casual trip? Or is this tied to the new dream?
I'm meeting with the Santo Group, Nathaniel Brown and his investors.
Santo? They built the Udalek complex, the Og Ghetto, here in Prague. Why are you meeting with them?
Brown's got big plans. He wants to focus on real solutions, ideas that look to the future. You've heard of the Safe Harbor Initiative?
I've heard of Rabia, the walled city he and his company are building in the desert for Ogs.
Rabia's just a part of it. We're talking about self-sustaining, energy-efficient arcologies that can be replicated anywhere on Earth. Cities built by the augmented, for the augmented.
Where the dream of self-controlled human evolution lives on.
It may not seem like it right now, son, but one day, people will move on from the incident. And when that happens, we'll be ready for it. I'm glad we caught up, Adam. I've always tried to look out for you, you know. That bombing yesterday.
You didn't call to talk about the bombing. Just ask.
It's nothing, really. I just need a signature so I can finish filing the bankruptcy paperwork.
You need my signature?
Yeah, apparently there was some kind of bureaucratic mix-up caused by you being declared legally dead for a year. The apartment in Detroit was leased in your name even though we paid for it.
Fine. Send me the paperwork.
Thanks, Adam. I appreciate it, really.
Goodbye, Serif.
Feel bad for Jensen. But in the first game, he gets out of the hospital, his dog's dead. A person looking after it couldn't look after it, so they had to put down. General Tao, the man behind the chicken. There are the gratuitous violence, surface slain. Clubbing the incompetent brain. A chaos theory unraveled. Tactical manual, life and regrets. Detailed history of cybernetics. Really hoping I get to see some of those in my lifetime. Like I said before, I'm a big fan of full body prosthesis. And I would og the shit out of myself if possible. Obviously I wouldn't go for the initial iteration. I'll leave that for someone else. But, yeah. I would be a big fan of getting orgs. Again, full body prosthesis. Oh yeah. Stick my body in the fridge. All's good. Cryogenics is the wrong phrase. It's cryogenous. Let me look it up. Cryonics. It's cryonics. Cryonics may eventually actually pay off. Deus Ex Mankind DIVIDD Session 1 Cover Friends List. There we go. There I just flagged the previous set. But yeah, I'll dig the hell out of that. Yeah, full body prosthesis, stick my meat body in the fridge, good to go. Still, I don't see that coming around for a long time, but I'm hoping I'll be alive long enough to see it. And rich enough to actually take advantage of it. It's actually something that actually really stresses me. Since I've read a different thing, I've been actually having an ongoing existential crisis. Just utter terror of my death. Utter, physical, fear, of it. It's been bugging me for months now. It's quite irritating. Some days I don't think of it, but most days I at least have a moment of fear of it. And I say moment, but yeah, it tends to last for longer than just a moment. It's really frustrating to think about, really. In terra firma. Task Force 29, the secret fight against global terrorism. Weekend editorial, part 1. On the 21st March 2028, a chain of coordinated bomb attacks exploded in unsuspecting cities and communities around the world. In that terrifying 6-hour period, up to 50 low-tech but horribly effective devices destroyed lives and terrorized humanity one after another. Too much too late, it was the tragic reason the world finally heeded. Highlighted by a press already gorging on stories of bloody terrorism, the lack of communication and cooperation between international intel-gathering organizations were cited as primary reasons for the March bombings going unprevented. Normally bound and gagged by political red tape, world leaders reached cross-political fences as international demand for a united and collaborative solution aligned across the globe. In the weeks following, UN mediators urgently proposed an international cooperative force with the power to act effectively across borders. Built upon the base of the existing G18, the effort quickly expanded with 11 more willing political participants, and Task Force 29 was born. There was, I was saying the cybernetics, or, the augmentations, that I would want probably wouldn't happen in my lifespan. You can never know. Apparently, there was some development as of late. Well, a lot of people are poo-pooing it, but basically it allows genetic modification that we haven't had previously, to the degree where it could wipe out a lot of ailments on on genetic level. I can't remember which ones they specified. I think schizophrenia was one of them. A lot of people were condemning it as eugenics and wrong, but apparently, regardless of any of that, where am I going with this? One of the sites talking about the development was saying that 5 years prior, this would have been unthinkable. This is like such a jump forward for the science, for the tech. The 5 years prior, we wouldn't have it would have been fantasy. I can only hope that there's similar jumps forward in human mechanical interfaces and the like. Plus, if you look at it from another perspective, go back 3 decades, or like for example, when my grandmother, when she was young, computing was quite basic. Apparently there was computers in World War II, but they were the size of rooms. I remember people talking about this. Actual knowledge of the topic is limited, but computers barely existed at the time, apparently. And now my phone over here that's half dead has greater computing power than what they had back then, and it's small enough that it can fit in my hand or comfortably between my ass cheeks. And that's within my nan's lifetime. Of course, I would prefer to get the work done a bit earlier than that, given how doddery she's gotten. Could be Alzheimer's. We aren't exactly talking, so. But I know. I just felt awkward being like, it could be this issue. Without the context, it makes me seem like an asshole not knowing. But there is more going on than, yeah. I've joked before, like, most of my relatives seem to have, I've made jokes before, like, a lot of close family members that I have seem to have some sort of ailment. Like, me and Mom both suffer with depression. I have social anxiety disorder, general anxiety. Other relatives seem to have stuff. I've joked before that, madness was in the blood. Like, someone gets a blood transfusion off me, and they roll D20, and any result will get, they get something. Basically, I'm going with a joke that infighting and squabbling is also in the blood. But where am I going with this? Yeah, basically, while the developments did come within her lifetime, she's kind of suffering the effects of old age, and I'd like to, if I was getting it done, not to be undergoing that at the time. Kind of defeats the purpose. Imagine being, like, yes, immortal cyborg, God from the machine, while suffering with, Alzheimer's or dementia or, insert thing here. That would be a bit much.